I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving.
What's good, guys? It's your boy, Jay. That's me. Let's get into Smackdown for May the 26th, 2023. This was a decent show. It was taped. But the Bloodline stuff was absolutely tremendous. I loved it. It was great. Magnificent stuff. Great stuff. Absolutely perfection. Great. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night, that being Sheamus versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. So towards the end of the match, Pretty Deadly came down and they brawled with the Brawling Brutes. And Austin Theory was able to retain via a roll-up. And the match was hard-hitting, so I really enjoyed that. It was great. They'll probably run this back again at some point. Don't know when, but we all know they're going to run this back for sure. They'll probably end up doing a 6-man tag, I would presume probably next week, if not in the coming weeks. We know how WWE loved their 6-man tag matches. They love that like crazy. Next, Roman Reigns, he's backstage with Paul Heyman and the rest of the Bloodline. So Roman Reigns tells Paul Heyman to let the Usos know. So Heyman says that the tribal chief feels so bad about the Usos not joining them in Saudi Arabia this weekend that he is inviting them to be in the ring next week for Roman Reigns' 1,000-day reign celebration. Roman says it's going to be special, and he wants the whole family there, especially Jimmy and Jay. So Jimmy shakes his head. He says he don't know what the issue is. So Jimmy stands up. He says he's leaving. And I can tell you, Roman steps to him. He said, "Hey, where you going, bruh? Where you going, dog?" Roman tells Jimmy, "Sit down. Hey, sit down, man." He tells him to sit down again. Roman steps to Jimmy. He gets in his face. Reigns asks if Jimmy is standing up to him, and he encourages him to do something. Make it happen. Think back when we were kids. I whooped you then, and we'll do it now. Nothing has changed. Roman says Jimmy will respect him and acknowledge him. Jay sees things getting heated. He walks Jimmy out, and they say that they'll see Roman next week. I love this. This was so damn good. I love this. Absolutely tremendous. This was done to perfection. This was great. This was great. I was like, oh shit. Jimmy's now waking up. He's now realizing that he's getting used. So this is great. I love it. There's no doubt in my mind that the Usos will be in Saudi Arabia to cost Solo and Roman the tag titles. It has to happen. With this much tension involved, that has to happen. So great stuff there. Moving on, what was not great and what I didn't care about was Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi versus Damage Control featuring Bayley and Io Sky. Don't really care about the match. Raquel gets the win. There was some miscommunication with Io Sky and Bayley. Who cares? It's not really that important. I'll be glad when they break them up. So we get a video package hyping up AJ Styles and versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. That was a pretty good little video package there. Next, Cameron Grimes takes on Ashani the Adonis. So Cameron Grimes gets the win here via the cave-in. I thought he was going to face Baron Corbin, but thankfully it didn't happen. Post-match, Cameron Grimes, he stands tall. His music hits, and then he's posing on stage. Corbin attacks him from behind, and he lays him out. So, again, we'll probably have a match next week involving those two. So, I'm fine with that. It's been a while since we've seen Hit Row. We haven't seen them in quite a few months. Whenever they do releases, I do expect them to get released. I don't think they have any plans for Hit Row. They really don't. Let's be honest, they've been dead on arrival since they came back. And I know good and damn well, I'm willing to bet you that they probably more than likely will get released. I'm willing to bet you guys that. So Bianca Belair, she's out next. So she's fired up about Asuka. She says she'll defend against Asuka at Night of Champions, but this is not the same Asuka from WrestleMania. Bianca respected that Asuka because she wanted the title, but this Asuka wants more than that. Belair goes on and mentions the recent missed attacks, especially in her hometown. Bianca says her hands are still green and her eyes are still blurry, but her mind has never been more clear. She's giving Asuka more than a title match. She's giving her a fight. So the music hits, and Bianca prepares for a fight. So Asuka attacks Bianca from behind. She's able to lock in an arm bar, and I liked it, but Bianca, for whatever reason, did not sell it. She didn't sell. That's not good. She should have sold the arm bar for a good bit. Even if you have to, quote-unquote, fake an injury, do it. This thing needs heat to it. There is no heat to it. So, Bianca attempts to go for the KOD, but Asuka dips out. She dodges it. And then officials separate both Asuka and Bianca Belair. Again, Bianca should have sold the armbar better. She barely even sold it. I was like, what the hell is she doing? She's not even selling. Like, that's not good. Bianca has to sell. She should have sold for Asuka. Because Asuka was locking that shit in tight. So I didn't like that. I really didn't. And I'm a huge Bianca Belair fan. That's my girl. But man, she's got to do better. She has to start selling a lot better, man. For real. LA Knight versus Rick Boogs. LA Knight wins. The Street Profits, they're on commentary for whatever reason. I have no idea why. It's not really that important. So, post-match, LA Knight goes to the floor. He takes the mic. He said he knows that the Street Profits were talking trash about him. And since he took out the trash tonight, their time's coming. LA says they won't get the smoke. They will get smoked. And then he does his famous catchphrase, "Yeah, dummy, yeah." So I like that. It makes sense. I'm guessing he'll take on Angelo Dawkins next week, I assume. Who knows? Who cares? Not important. Karrion Kross, he's cutting a backstage promo before his match with AJ Styles. So we see Scarlett and Kross with the AJ Styles tarot card. Kross says a stubborn man only sees one path before him, and a man consumed by one single goal fails to see all the danger waiting around him. Kross says AJ shouldn't be asking himself if he has what it takes to beat Seth Rollins tomorrow. He should be asking himself what sort of condition will he be in after Kross victimizes him. That leads us into AJ Styles. That leads us into AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. AJ Styles wins via the phenomenal forearm. Scarlett tried to get involved early on in the match, but Mia Yim comes out and she chases off Scarlett. I feel bad for Kross. I mean, I like Kross, but I wish they would have built up more to this match instead of just jumping right into it. Forgot to mention we got a hype video hyping up Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. So that was kind of cool. Again, they're probably going to do a unification of the tag titles. I would assume maybe at Money in the Bank. I would assume, right? I hope so, because that's your next pay-per-view after Night of Champions. There is no pay-per-view in June. There is none. I've already looked into it. I've checked. There's none. So we just get an entire month of television building up Money in the Bank. So I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know what the hell Triple H and Vince are doing. Who knows? And moving on. So AJ Styles, he's backstage with Kayla Braxton. So he says, at Night of Champions, Seth Rollins can be invisible, unstoppable, and even Seth freaking Rollins. But he can't be phenomenal because AJ is. AJ says he'll put a phenomenal beating on Rollins to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Not going to happen. Then we get a video package for Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. And then the closing segment, a.k.a. the main event. So, Sami and KO. We have the KO show. So, Kevin Owens says at Night of Champions, they'll defend their titles against Roman Reigns and Sikoa, but first they need to get some things off their chest. Owens calls out their guest. So Paul Heyman, he comes out instead. Heyman can't believe that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn still haven't realized that your tribal chief comes out when he wants to and not when you tell him to. So then that prompts the Usos to come out. They interrupt. So, Jay, he's fired up. He brings up what happened last week and says Sami and Owens are worried about Night of Champions, but they have a bigger problem standing right in front of their faces. Owens knew that Roman wouldn't come out here, so this works because Sami keeps caring about the Usos and saying they deserve better. Kevin Owens says Sami has been right about the Usos each time, and Kevin Owens knows that the Bloodline will be nothing without the Usos. They're the hearts of the table if Roman is the head of the table. So Kevin Owens continues to go on about how Roman uses the Usos. Kevin Owens says they went from being the greatest tag team in WWE to being Roman Reigns' errand boys. So Jimmy gets fired up and saying when it comes to the day ones and the Usos, he, Jimmy, is the tribal chief. And Paul Heyman, the look on his face, his jaw got wide as hell. And I loved it. His facial expression was perfect. Mouth agaped and everything. It was great. I absolutely loved it. This was excellent. So Roman comes out. He's pissed off as shit. So he steps to Jay. He smacks the mic out of Jay's hand. He does the same thing to Jimmy. He steps to him. He grabs the mic, tosses it. So Sami asks Roman if he knows it's over and that the bloodline is collapsing, and it's all Roman's fault. So Roman steps to Sami Zayn, and Roman knocks his mic away, and then Owens hits a stunner on Roman Reigns. So the Usos, they brought with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Solo comes in. He takes out Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens with Samoan spikes. Roman Reigns, he comes back in. He yells at Solo to pick the tag champs up. So Roman spears Sami, and he throws office furniture everywhere. So the Usos, they come back into the ring. So Jay has one set of the tag titles to Solo. Jimmy, he holds the other set and looks at him. So Reigns holds his hand out. Reigns and Jimmy, they trade looks. Solo is also staring at Jimmy. He's staring him down. Jimmy keeps looking at the titles, and he looked at Roman. Roman still has his hand out. Jay backs his brother away and looks at it and says, "You're right," to Jimmy. But then Jay takes the other set of titles and hands it to Roman. So Roman takes the tag titles from Solo, and they hold both sets in the air. So everyone in the Bloodline is standing tall as they pose over Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So Jimmy, he's off in the background doing his own thing. And Roman talks some trash, and then Smackdown goes off the air. I love this. This is absolutely tremendous. Great shit here. You can feel the tension rising. You can feel it. You can feel that the championship reign of Roman Reigns is slipping around him as well. Again, I've said this for a few weeks now. This Bloodline storyline has now transcended championships, meaning this storyline does not need championships going forward to continue it. It doesn't. And I cannot wait to see what happens at Night of Champions. I do think that Jimmy and Jay will screw over Roman. They have to. Roman's not going to have 4 belts or anything like that. It's not going to go down like that. The Usos have to get involved. They have to. So many seeds were planted that they're going to have to get involved and take care of things. And then that should culminate into next week's episode when we do the 1,000th day celebration of Roman Reigns. Continue it there as well. So we could be getting like a Roman Reigns and a Solo versus the Usos at Money in the Bank. That could happen as well. So I could definitely see that happening. So there's that. What did you guys think of the show? Let me know. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.